Hey everyone, patch 3.22 Ancestor is just around the corner from when this video is coming out, and I just wanted to go over a few housekeeping things that people have been asking about right before the season starts if you are interested in them. So the first thing I want to talk about that quite a lot of people have asked is, Allie, do you have a loot filter? Allie, is there a loot filter for Impending Doom? Allie, can we have some sort of loot filter? Well, I don't necessarily have a specific loot filter for Impending Doom per se, but I have updated my loot filter for the new season. And while it's not necessarily at what I would call an Impending Doom loot filter, it does point out the socket colors you might potentially be wanting on Impending Doom, while overall being, in my opinion, a pretty decent leveling filter for at least the axe. Now, with that said, I do want to warn you that the way I handle loot filter every season is I typically just keep it fairly loose for day 1, but moving into day 2, day 3, and day 4, I very quickly tighten it up to make it super strict, as in my opinion, basically 90% of the items are not actually worth picking up, and usually they're a waste of time and typically make you lose money, either by them just not being efficient to trade to other people or not being able to be bundled up in a way for you to bulk sell them easily. So if you do want to follow my filter, there is a chance that it might progress a little bit faster than you might be progressing in your season. So it might very quickly not showcase things that you might still want to be picking up for the sake of making money. Now, with that said, in the description below, there will be 2 links. One will be to my profile page, and here, if you want to just directly have a one-to-one copy of my filter, you just simply go to the 322 filter, and for you, there will be a follow button. And what this does is every time I update my filter, your filtering game will also immediately be updated too. So if you want to have exactly what I'm running, you can get it that way. The other link is going to be to Filterblade. Now, at the time of recording this and right before the league launch, Filterblade is currently down as NeverSync is updating it for the new season. But within 8 hours or 2 before the season starts, this should be back up. And if you want to, with the link for Filterblade, you'll be able to make a copy of it. So you will have my base filter before it is unaltered by the upcoming season. And you'll be able to stricten it yourself and change it from there if you just want my default strictness, and or if you like the way my filter looks, as quite a lot of people have liked the way my filter is a little bit transparent and the colors I've chosen for it. Now, the next thing that a lot of people have been asking about is, Allie, what farming strategy should we do for Impending Doom? Well, in my opinion, you can do anything you want. Realistically, just pick whichever strategy seems good to you, whichever strategy seems fun to you. And Impending Doom is really good at everything except Legion. I would not recommend to do Legion with this build simply because it's a poison build, and realistically, you're not going to be killing the monsters fast enough. You're going to need to ramp on every one of them a little bit. Their clear is just not going to be decent for Legion. I would stay clear of that, but everything else is fine. A lot of people have been asking about Expedition, and well, Expedition's honestly, in my opinion, really fine. You shouldn't really have too much of an issue doing Expedition. The only thing you have to worry about is the immune to curses remnant, as that one is not the same thing as hexproof, and obviously the immune to chaos one. But if you do want something that is made by me as a guide for next season in terms of what you could do for money, I do have a video on some Alch Go farming that you could do immediately at the start of the season. This is a harvest and expedition strategy that can then be evolved to either become growing hordes, or you can eventually add in sextants and scarabs and add a little bit more juice to it, but it's mostly focused on expedition farming and harvest farming some altars. The other option, if you don't want to do that, is I do have another guide on how to make money off of essences and beasts at the start of a season. Now, this is the Allie tried and true classic of the easiest way to possibly make money because you're just doing low tier maps. And if you'd like something a little bit easier and something you could do a little bit sooner into the season that will only get better as we go into week 2 and week 3, this is another option. But again, you just choose whatever strategy you want as long as you stay clear of Legion, in my opinion. Now, in terms of what I'll be doing next season, I honestly don't know. I was going to decide yesterday, and I actually just ended up not deciding yesterday. I was kind of tired, so I went to bed early and kind of didn't think about what I want to do. And honestly, even when I'm recording this now, I still don't know what I want to do. Honestly, I think I'm just going to pick something while I'm leveling. And I'm kind of leaning towards doing invitation farming. I kind of want to go rush up to tier 16 maps and immediately start farming Shaper Guardians and Elder Guardians and Conquerors for invitations. But I am not too sure on it. I'm still a little bit 50-50, but it would be something fun to do since I've never done it before. The other strategy, if I don't end up doing that and if I need a backup plan, is I'm probably just going to be following my own 7th gate strategy, as I've never actually done expedition farming and I've never really liked expedition. But this season, with the new keystone coming in, Extreme Archaeology, I suddenly kind of really want to do expedition. I was the same exact way on Harvest before the changes to Harvest, to where we now just get Life Force and we could just trade the life force to people. I hated harvest, but now with the life force changes, harvest is literally my favorite mechanic. It's wonderful. So I think I might have the same opinion about expedition. I don't think I'll be doing logbooks because logbooks again are kind of the same thing that I hate. I don't want to sit there and read and min-max the explosions before doing the logbook. I kind of just want to not really think, kill some mobs and get some loot. So if I do end up doing this, I would never be like swapping over to logbooks afterwards. I think I'll just do this and then pop into something else. We'll see. Again, I think I'm just gonna pick my strategy as I'm leveling or something, which honestly sounds kind of fun. Typically every season I pre-plan my week 1 quite heavily, and honestly I feel like just going in completely blind, not having a single clue what I'm going to do is going to be more fun, and it'll be kind of interesting to see how fast I can get my mage blood. Typically when I plan my strategy, I can get myself a mage blood day 4, day 5, and it'll be interesting to see if I can do the same thing without having any preparation done beforehand, and I'll just randomly pick something. Now, one other thing to mention about all this is I really recommend you do early game heisting. I have a video I'll link in the description on how to do early game heisting to make yourself a bunch of money so you can put together Impending Doom immediately, because Impending Doom is going to need Vixens to really go. A lot of people have been asking, what do I think of Vixen's price? Well, typically it's 20 to 30 C day 1. And I expect it to be a little bit higher since it seems like quite a lot of content creators have pumped out some Impending Doom videos. But I don't think it's going to be that bad because Vixens is a tier 2 item. So at most, it'll probably be like 50 C day 1. And then day 2 and day 3, it'll drop back down to 15 to 30 C. But again, that's not really bad because with Heist, you can make somewhere around 150, 200 C. So you'll be able to afford Vixens and basically everything else you need to really get going with just maybe an hour or 2 of work right before you go to Catawba. The other last thing I want to mention is there has been a small change to the Pathfinder leveling section. The new addition is War Banner. You can thank Tai for this because I was doing a practice run yesterday and Tai was yelling at me, why am I not using War Banner? And I was like, wait a second, War Banner is good. So we added War Banner here. It's a very small difference. It's like a 5% DPS increase because War Banner is not necessarily the most useful thing for us, but it's not that bad to add in here. And then you would just simply run this until you get over to Act 3 when you're actually getting your auras. As soon as you get, for example, Grace and like Purity of Elements, you just drop War Banner. But there's no reason not to run until then. You don't have mana problems. And the nice thing about it, the reason it's so good is just the extra hit chance because we are not really hit capped. It's kind of hard to get hit cap. We just play around like 70%. And if you do want to press it again to put it down, it gives you adrenaline. So if you actively want to use War Banner and use it outside of just an aura, you can destroy bosses really quickly. I was using it in Act 2 and I was like 3-shotting bosses with Poisonous Concoction. Is kind of silly. It's really good. It's really good. So we'll add that in here. Again, if this doesn't get to you before League Start, if you've already leveled or if you don't want to do this, it's fine. It's again a very minor change and you won't notice anything, but all the notes everywhere have been updated with this and it'll be in the description as well. Can't really use this for Witch, unfortunately, since Witch doesn't get War Banner, and so there's only really a Pathfinder change, but very small change, very little min-max. Hopefully helps people have a little bit easier of a time. That's all I really have for this video. I just want to keep it short. I hope you kitties enjoy the new season. I will be streaming on Twitch. I will probably be streaming maybe an hour or 2 after this video goes live. So I'll be live basically all day and I plan to stream very late into the day. So if you want to watch me level Impending Doom, if you're playing it yourself, if you just want to come hang out, we'll have a lot of kitties. We're also going to have a global channel. I have one every single season and our global channel is pretty helpful, pretty friendly, right? We have a really cute community. So if you want to join a global channel, it's Global 512. We're always in there. If you need anything, like for example, if you're playing a Witch and you don't want to level you don't want to level with Rolling Magma all the way until Act 3 and swap to Poisonous Concoction, you might be able to ask someone in there, hey, can you give me a Poisonous Concoction? I'm playing a Witch. I don't want to, right? You could do that if you really want to. I'm sure someone might be able to help you out, but you know, we have a cute community. If you want to come hang out on Twitch with us while, you know, we all League Start together, I'll be happy to have you there. Other than that, I hope you enjoy your season. I hope you have fun. I hope Trial of the Ancestor is going to be good. I think it's going to be a wonderful season. I think we're going to finally have a banger. And I think we're going to like absolutely enjoy the season. Just how Sanctum has been a really good season. I feel like we're going to finally have another really solid season. And I really hope I'm not wrong on this and look back at this in a week or 2 and just be in despair. But I think this one's going to be a banger and I think it'll be pretty fun. So hope you kitties enjoy it as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video.